So now that I have Wrex, I'll go over his skills. So I put 8 into assault rifles as sort of a secondary weapon, as well as to unlock shotgun here, 5, and shotgun for primary weapon, which unlocks Master Carnage. I'm gonna max out his combat armor. I'm just missing 2 skill points, and that both unlocks heavy armor right here, as well as Master Shield Boost, which will basically give him full shield if he needs it. For fitness, that gives Master Immunity, and I maxed that out. Put enough points into Warp for his advanced Warp and to unlock Throw. Max out Throw, because that's good for knocking targets on the ground, which incapacitates them for a while. And then finally, this is probably the most important, because you want it to be tank and sort of taking off. Like if there's rocket fire or something like that, you want to be taking that off of you. So put max out barrier. For Wrex, stasis isn't really for the Bastion specialization. It's not affected by Rex's stasis, so that doesn't really matter at all. I just put 1 in, and then I maxed Krogan Battlemaster at 6. For his equipment, his assault rifle is the secondary, and I gave that Inferno rounds and frictionless materials to let him fire it longer before overloads. His shotgun, I gave that explosive rounds, and also gave it combat optics, so that I can sort of like break through any gut jamming, especially later in the game. I think they might have higher jammings later in the game. And finally the scram rail to increase damage. And the pistol and sniper rifle don't really matter. Biotic amp against Savant X, because that's the best amp. And for heavy armor, this obviously isn't the best armor for Wrex, but it's very good armor. I mean, compared to all these other ones, it looks like it's very close to the best armor. And that's the Predator H9. And I put 2 energized plating on that for damage protection. So for Tali's setup, for her abilities, I have her main weapon as pistol, that maxed out at 12 as Master Marksman, and as a secondary, I have 4 shotguns for Carnage. Shotguns, I'm not really gonna have her use because she's a lot squishier than Wrex is, so she'll get killed very easily, and it's probably better for her to use pistols. I put 5 into basic armor, and once I get to level 60, I plan to get this last Quarry Machinist, and then put an additional point into basic armor. I put 12 into first aid because she's the only one on my team who knows first aid, so you want some pretty decent first aid for healing, especially on insanity. Electronics, I put in 9 because that's the most you need for Master Overload. You could put past that for 30 extra shield each rank, but it's not really worth it in my opinion. Damping on maxed out because they'll basically do a 3-second stun and it will shut down enemies' abilities, which is really useful. Decryption, I put in the minimum you need for Master Sabotage, and that also unlocked hacking. And hacking I maxed out because, you know, turning a few geth, especially if they're bigger geth, to your side is very useful. And Quarry Machinist I plan to max out. For her equipment, the assault rifle and the sniper rifle don't really matter because I'd have her mainly using the pistol, and maybe in a rare occasion I'll have her use a shotgun. But for the pistol, I have her using the sledgehammer to prevent healing for like Krogan and other people who have health regen, and then frictionless material to help her fire it longer. And the shotgun, I have the same, you know, loadout as Wrex's shotgun. It's just explosive with 2 scram rails. For armor, this definitely isn't the best armor, but I think it's still pretty good. And I gave her 2 medical exoskeletons for the same reason I gave myself medical exoskeletons, to guard against toxin, to give her that health regen she doesn't have naturally, and also to let her use her tech powers more often. For Wrex that wasn't as important. The tech power, for Wrex the power reduction wasn't as important because Wrex has biotic powers, which I already have, so it's kind of redundant a little bit. I gave her the Nexus Nexus 10, and I don't know if that's the best Omni tool, but it definitely has the best tech cooldown, which is what's really important. I'd like it if it had a bit higher of a shield bonus, but the tech cooldown is really good. It basically halves, I think, any cooldowns, so she can use her tech abilities more often.